All right, Shalom. First, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. This is an article that I found. I was watching the Dabu 77 his video, okay, about this EMP. All right, and the link had this article. It says China, Russia preparing for blackout warfare with super EMP bombs. Boy, well, that's what the scriptures do talk about. There's going to be darkness, all right, in Egypt, modern day Egypt being America. Okay, and man, I'll just say this, man. A lot of people are not prepared for that. Okay, a lot of people are not prepared for that, man. Here in America, you have a bunch of grown ass babies, who they don't sleep with a nightlight, but when the real lights go out, man, it's gonna be over for them. Okay, it says Russia, China, and several other nations are developing powerful high altitude nuclear bombs that can produce super electromagnetic pulse or EMP waves capable of knocking out critical electronic infrastructure, according to several declassified 2017 reports from the now defunct Commission to Assess the Threat to the United States from EMP attack. And the United States infrastructure is not strong. All right. It says foreign adversaries may aptly consider nuclear EMP attack a weapon that can gravely damage the U.S. by striking its technological Achilles heel. Without having to confront the U.S. military, reads the report, which notes how foreign actors could use EMP attacks virtually anywhere in the world. It says super EMP weapons, as they are termed by Russia, are nuclear weapons specially designed to generate an extraordinarily powerful E1 EMP field. Super EMP warheads are designed to produce gamma rays, which generate the E1 EMP effect, not a big explosion, and typically have very low explosive yields, only 1 to 10 kilotons. Even EMP-hardened U.S. strategic forces and command, control, communications, and intelligence systems are potentially vulnerable to such a threat. See? And that's wow. So if it was to hit Omaha, all right, around Omaha or Denver, it could spread an effect all the way to New York. So let's just say they shot off more than one. The whole U.S. will be under in darkness, and you just see how crazy people go, man. See how crazy people will go. It says nuclear EMP attack is part of the military doctrines, plans, and exercises of Russia, China, North Korea, and Iran for a revolutionary new way of warfare against military forces and civilian critical infrastructures by cyber, sabotage, and EMP, the reports continue. All right. So, man, it says the commission sees the high altitude nuclear explosion generated electromagnetic pulse as an existential threat to the survival of the United States and its allies that can be exploited by major nuclear powers and small-scale nuclear weapon powers, including North Korea, and non-state actors such as nuclear-armed terrorists. Nuclear-armed terrorists, okay. It says nuclear electronic warfare is also known as Blackout, according to Washington Free Beacon. EMP attacks will be carried out at such high altitudes. They will produce no blast or other immediate effects harmful to humans. Instead, 3 types of EMP waves and second damage electronics, and the strikes are regarded by adversaries as not an act of nuclear war. Potential adversaries understand that millions could die from long-term collateral effects of EMP and cyber attacks that cause protracted blackout of national electric grids and other life-sustaining critical infrastructures, the report said. Now, how bad would this be if the U.S. was to be hit with an EMP this winter? Do you see how harsh the winter is, man? All right? The most I could do it to where the U.S. gets hit, man, oh, boy. Tons of people are gonna die, man. You get hit, the grid goes down. That means no heaters, okay? No hot chocolates, none of that. All right. your ass is freezing, man. And then they open up them FEMA camps to tell you, oh, come here for shelter. That place will be overpacked, man, because people can't handle it. Okay, that man, that would be crazy with how cold it is, the temperature and the negatives and so on and so forth. You know what people will do when they in the houses with no heat, no electricity, no, their cars not starting, none of that. Boy, it says potential adversaries understand that millions could. Yeah, I read that part. The attacks are regarded by enemy military planners as a relatively easy, potentially unattributed means or attributable means of inflicting mass destruction and forcing opponents to capitulate. Which I wouldn't be surprised if the U.S. themselves do a false flag in the U.S., all right, but mainly orchestrated by these elites, do a false flag involving an EMP, all right. You got things like the Super Bowl and all these different events coming up. All right, so you got to watch those. It says EMP strikes can be adjusted in the size of the area and the intensity of the wave by detonating at different altitudes. The closer to the Earth, the more powerful is the pulse. The higher the altitude, the wider the area of impact. EMP attacks do not require accuracy, nor do the bombs require a re-entry vehicle, heat shield, or shock absorbers like standard nuclear weapons. And they can be delivered through several methods, including satellites, which I believe there's a North Korean, if I'm not mistaken, or a Chinese satellite that as Dabu said, goes above the U.S. All right, it says short, medium, long-range missiles, or even from a jet, commercial airliner, or meteorological balloon. So you see how easy it is? It says the commission's recommendations are as follows. Recommendation 1. The commission recommends the president establish an executive agent with an authority, accountability, and resources to manage U.S. national infrastructure protection and defense against the existential EMP threat. So they know it's a threat, But what are they going to do? They're going to allow it to just hit, because if it hits, then it's within the plans of these elites. Because they're more than capable of stopping something like that. But, hey, ultimately, is the Most High's will. Recommendation 2, the commission strongly recommends that implementation of cybersecurity for the electric grid and other critical infrastructures include EMP protection. Wow, look at that. So they're not even included. Recommendation 3, the commission encourages the president to work with congressional leaders to establish a joint presidential congressional commission with its members charged with supporting the nation's leadership to achieve on an accelerated basis the protection of critical national infrastructures. But that's not even what they're worried about now. Trump is worried about getting a wall. He's worried about they're in the midst of a disagreement, and he's worried about getting a wall. The Democrats are saying no, and all this, that, and the third. So it says, wouldn't that be a perfect time for enemies to take advantage? It says, recommendation 4, the commission recommends that government agencies and industries adopt new standards to protect critical national infrastructures from damaging E3 EMP HAVE shields or HAVE fields with more realistic standards of 85 kilometers. Recommendation number 5, the commission recommends that the Department of Defense and the Department of Energy provide expedited threat level full system testing of large power transformers in wide use within the bulk electric system and share key findings with the electric utility industry. But there have been drills, all right, EMP drills that the U.S. has had. And when they have these drills, it's not for nothing, okay? It's a drills in preparation for something. Recommendation 6, the commission recommends that the Director of National Intelligence circulate to all recipients of the 2014 JAEIC report, the EMP Commission critique and direct a new assessment be prepared that supersedes the 2014 JAEIC EMP report. All right, and then it says, as for what to do after an EMP attack, the commission has provided a handy report titled Life Without Electricity, Storm-Induced Blackouts and Implications for EMP Attack. Let me see if there's any more. I think that's it on that. But you know what? Us over here, man, we're not trusting in reports on how life without electricity, man. We trust in the Most High. All right, regardless of whatever situation we're put in, He ultimately puts us in there. Okay, and we trust in Him, because if he can cause an EMP to happen, all right, then He can definitely deliver us from it. Okay, it's really just trust and faith in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, and pursuant to Isaiah 33:6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. Okay, which is why we got to get the wisdom and knowledge, all right, and the faith and protection from the Lord now. Okay, so we can use it, all right, in the time of Jacob's trouble, in the time when we need it the most. All right, that's why we got to stand firm for the Lord, man, so He can defend us and protect us and provide for us, because that's going to be very, very, very essential for survival in those times, man. The times that we're very much in. Okay, so I hope this was edifying unto the elect. I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Until next time, Shalom.